EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. About 80 yards left, Frank. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the fifth. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way. Rich, you cannot walk this golf course. As a matter of fact, you cannot use an electric cart around this golf course. You've got to use a gas cart. That's how hilly this golf course is.
I think you need an ATV, right? One of those all-terrain vehicles.
Or BMX, or no, not BMX, the
dirt bike.
The dirt bike, that's what you'd need.
Ricky Fowler would be good around here.
That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Frank, at this, the highest level, stroke play, really it seems to me to be all about not wasting shots because the margin for error is so razor thin. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Hit it. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 fifth hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot play just a fraction uphill. And this green, well, it's got more humps than hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. I was fooled a little bit on that one, Frank. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You're going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is, though, is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything, obviously, that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Locked in on the read and the speed. Good solid work right there and stays at 4 under. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Good looking shot right here. Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Getting set now over the putt.
Oh, and just busts out an eagle when things were as tight as can be.
Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play. What a great shot. That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
He's putting for birdie now.
Well, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Just a couple of feet. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And where I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
This has been a great performance so far, but Frank, a long ways to go. Do you ever worry about complacency?
Yeah, sometimes it just looks like it's too easy. At the moment, the putts are going in, the iron shots are going close enough. But some things, they don't happen by accident. He's got to still keep concentrating right now.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
What a shot. I mean, almost in. Just a little tap in here. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe you put your two hands together, make a little prayer. You might make two, but make three here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Second shot coming out of the rough here. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. from about 8 feet. Good putt. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance too to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back and now look like he's playing even better than ever. It took some doing. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
He'll need to be strong with this. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, he's not going to be real happy with that. Wow. No one likes these. Putt for double bogey. That really hurts. Into a tie for the lead after that double bogey. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And now we go down to the first hole. Frank, it's a different feeling on the first tee on a weekend, third round of a championship like this than, say, on the first round, isn't it?
You know you've got the grips of the golf course. You know the holes that are birdieable out there. More importantly, too, you know how well you're playing. It's all in front of you. Sport, especially like this at the highest level. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, what does the shot into this first green look like?
Well, it's back a little bit up the hill. Bunkers left and right are really the biggest concern, but a well-flighted shot to this 3-level green will be well rewarded.
Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Close to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Headed for the bunker? Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Love it with a nice splash out of the bunker. It lands softly and just runs out right next to the hole. Beautiful shot. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Frank, a par here, that's just fine. All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. And he's made it onto the green now. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. So a drop shot here at the third hole, Frank.
Yeah, another putt missed.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Bad news is, that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
He's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. He made it a real cat fight.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower and along the ground.
You really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich, and really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions, but conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream, but you can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you're going to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Frank, this looks tough. He's on the macadam, but for a high-level professional?
Well, he's taken the wrong path, Rich.
Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart, pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This would give him the par. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Too bad, he gives one back. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. He's gone for a little extra. Just smokes it. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward because on an uphill shot, there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward. Should be safely on deck.
Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Did the job right there. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
I like the looks of this one. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look and getting ready for the putt.
Moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards, a sweeping dog leg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play, because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It's 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Our attempt here. No damage done. Made the par. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Even with that par, will drop down on the leaderboard.
Time to change gears. Birdie time.
Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Frank, he's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that light.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Getting set now over the putt. And he makes it for par. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
Good swing, good shot yet again. And it makes the green in regulation. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Just a little tap in here. He's made it. Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way we got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should set up nicely for a birdie.
Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see two par fives back-to-back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
That's a painful miss right there. So they'll tap in.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Looks like he just misread that. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change in the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so pushes him back to second.